welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name's Connor Williams, and we're back with another one of our 24/7 news report videos. As always, we start with the headline news. And the headline news this evening is that MSP Sports Capital have withdrew from talks with Everton Football Club after taking a minority stake in the club. That's come by The Athletic. The Athletic also added that Fad Mashiri is trying to find alternative investment for Everton and has resumed talks with 777 partners. Yeah, there were rumours about this the other day. I think the EFC did a space on it discussing Farhad Mashiri and 777. I think people like obviously the Athletic are. We were waiting for a media outlet to report it before mentioning it. The Athletic have. I think the rumours were that Mashiri's been trying to go between with 777 and get more money. The insinuation online was that it's Mashiri that's messed this up. And while that is just alleged, and until something, media outlet comes out with something more credible, no, no offense, but like listening to spaces and that isn't always, give or take. We sort of just have to say that he's resumed talks with 777, but it is a bit suspicious that he's straight away back in there. It does sort of add it up, and it comes down to, do I trust that it's 7 MSP Capital and he hasn't messed this up? No, I'm almost certain he has messed this up because that's the type of person he is. And it just looks like we're back to start one again. You can see why the protests happen, can't you, and stuff like that. We've had 2 games already. One a really unfortunate loss where we've statistically were better, and one absolute decimating at Villa Park, which was like 60-40. Villa were very, very good, has to be said. 40%, we were just god awful. And then this breaks, and you just like, give us a break, like just have a day off. Yeah, for me, Farhad Mashiri as well. Just once again, I cannot wait for the day he decides that he's done with Everton, and this whatever this was, him coming in and taking over as majority shareholder, whatever this was, I can't wait for the day he just turns around and goes, I'm just gonna call my lot, cash in, call my losses, leave. I can't wait for that. I know people say about the chairman as well. For me, these two are symbiotic with each other. They're both as bad as each other. I know one has been here a lot longer and done it for a lot longer, but Mashiri, he doesn't get away with it because everyone's sort of aiming at the chairman, and Bill Kenwright. That doesn't excuse the fact that Mashiri as well, in his tenure, has been very, very bad. We've spent more than £500,000, and for the last 2 years have been relegation battling. It looks like we're going to be in for the third, and all they've got, the only positive light in his tenure might be the stadium. That's the only thing. And if that's what he's holding out for as a legacy, while it might look good from the outside in, Everton fans won't remember you for the stadium. I'm sure we will be remembering you for this run, especially if our luck runs out and we go down. You won't be remembered. The stadium won't recover your reputation for relegation. But yeah, just once again, rinse and repeat of last season. Not going well off the pitch, not going well on the pitch. We also have that Everton are looking unlikely to sign Wilfred Gnonto after being informed the Italian is not for sale during the talks this week. Everton were preparing to offer another bid closer to Leeds' valuation. It's not clear if Everton will come back for Gnonto. That's come from Jack Talbot. The Mail Sport also put Everton remain interested in signing Leeds' Gnonto. However, Leeds have rejected the latest £25 million bid that included bonuses and a sell-on clause. Just the wording, it's not clear if Everton will come back in for him. Screams deadline day. Here's it all. It screams, we've got none of the replacements or alternatives. Leeds, name your price, sound done. And we'll overpay. I like him. I like Gnonto, but if we have got such a limited pot of money, I don't know if he's the player you should be spending all that on. We need another striker, out-and-out striker. We need another right winger. Possibly need another centre-back or right-back. Maybe centre-back. you know, there's limited funds and limited time. The window closes in a week. I don't know if he's one to be chasing for the next week. If it's not happening, it's not happening, which is unfortunate because he said he wants to go. It's very interesting how his career at Leeds will go. Since he's handed his transfer request, I've seen Leeds fans chanting about him. I've seen banners of him as a baby, saying wow, doesn't want to play in the Championship. And I've seen grown men smashing up their key rings with Gnonto's name on, which is always a sign of, somebody's taking something really, really well. You know, keep going, Leeds fans. You're handling it really well. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he turns that around. But like, if he's not coming to Everton, I mean, I'm not going to be watching that openly. It also screams potentially, if that all goes wrong, us coming back in January for him. But it looks like Leeds are saying he's our player and that's it. And that's the end of it. That's towards Gnonto himself. So yeah, we'll have to move on, which we are. We also have from Jack Talbot saying that Everton now proceed in considering other options, such as PSV's Johan Bakayoko and Leeds United's Luis Sinstera. I do like Luis Sinstera. I thought he had a good couple of games. He had a good run for Leeds. He's a fast player, good dribbler. I do really like him. Bakayoko, I'm not going to lie and say I watch a lot of PSV. But I did do a on my Twitter, which you can follow it at C_Williams61097. I did do a stats player comparison between him and Gnonto. Bakayoko outperformed Gnonto in a lot of stats, but it's worth pointing out he plays for PSV, one of the two top teams in the Dutch league. So they predominantly dominate most games, whereas Gnonto was playing for relegated Leeds United. So one had a better team around them and played weaker teams. The other didn't have such a good team and was always up against teams that were better than the one he's playing for. So you have to add that context in. But Bakayoko does seem like a very good young prospect. Whether he's cheaper than Sinistera or maybe even Gnonto is yet to be seen. PSV, I don't know if they need the money that badly or how much they value him. We also have DEMARAI Gray on his way out. There were rumours that he might go to Saudi League, and the president of Al Shabab has said via the actual SPL leagues media, God willing, we will soon hire DEMARAI Gray, a player from Everton and the Jamaican national team. I listen, if he's not going to get played for whatever reason, I think this is a good bit of business. I know people are getting excited. I don't think it'll be silly money. I don't think I know they're giving away big contracts to big players and they're buying players for big money, but they're players like Benzema, Neymar, and no offense to DEMARAI Gray, but he's not that caliber. I think we'll get a decent note, like anything north of 10 and above mil is fantastic because we only bought him for 2.5. So that's fantastic money made there. As in terms of DEMARAI Gray, the player, very, very he's had a solid time at Everton, got two very, very good goals, helped us with relegation battles for the year and a half, maybe 2 years now he's been here. I still think he's at 26. Is he 27? I think he still has something to prove that he can do it in the Premier League. I know Crystal Palace were looking at him and Fulham, but that doesn't seem to be happening anymore. I think he's still got something to prove and he can do that. But I also think he might be tempted by the Saudi League and the money that they've got there. So it's yet to be seen, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But from an Everton point of view, it will free up some funds to spend. We'll probably use that money into Gnonto at deadline day. We also have the PSV have contacted Everton over a deal for Gerard Branthwaite. The defender is open to a return. Everton seem to want 15 million euros or more. There is considerable doubt that PSV can or will pay that for him. This has come from Rick Elfrink, who is a journalist in Holland and a PSV fan. Yeah, I really like Gerard Branthwaite. I prefer to keep him. I don't want to sell him at all. I think he is. I don't know why he's not getting games, but I don't think he can be any worse than some of the defenders we're seeing at the minute. I think he's worth a try. He's worth a try. Let's see. If he's not cut out for it, at least we all know then, and let's sell him. But he's worth that try anyway. Yeah, I just think he's worth the try. 15 million euros or more. Everton are well aware he's got a high glass ceiling. Makes you wonder though, if they know that he's got high potential, why aren't we playing him or trying to nurture that? Whether we can sort of use this in the Bakayoko deal is yet to be seen. Player swaps never happen normally. They're very uncommon. I know every time somebody wants a player that we're going in for, people get excited. I can't see that happening. And I don't think Bakayoko is going to be a player switch, but there might be able to be some leverage in it. Maybe we'll let you have Branthwaite for a little bit less, vice versa. But yeah, we also have the Everton aren't interested in signing Callum Hudson-Odoi, despite reports that's come from Chris Beasley of the Echo. I saw that we were after him. I liked Hudson-Odoi a couple of seasons ago, but I think his injuries are a big worry. It depends on if the price is right. If the price was low, you could argue we've got a DEMARAI Gray on our hands, where people think, oh, what have they bought him for? He does really well. We then sell him on for a bit of profit the next season. Fantastic bit of business. But we could also sign him. His wages could be extortionate, and he could go and do his knee in again, and that's him for the rest of the season. And that's all she wrote. It really is a bit of a risk. And with Everton's track record and luck, I don't know if it's worth the risk. But he is a very talented player. It has to be said. And then finally, we have the Seamus Coleman has confirmed he'll be back in 6 to 8 weeks. This has come via the 42 IE. Unfortunate this for Seamus Coleman. I think watching Nathan Patterson, he'd defo get in. But obviously due to his injury, he's not going to now. It leaves the right back spot wide open. But yeah, it's unfortunate that because I think he might get in over Patterson currently. That's all we've got time for though. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below. Look forward to reading them, and I'll see you guys very soon.